speaking of secreting things in your own house that is maybe a bit creepy, gut health. Apparently, I live with my ex-husband, so you're telling me that my gut health and my ex-husband's gut health are similar, even though we do not share a bedroom and have not for years.
Yeah, this is I've brought this story in as a sciencey story because of the way that science is reported so badly. So headline, your roommates could be affecting your gut biome. Wow, imagine that just by living with people, your gut biome somehow synchronize. Isn't that weird? Let's look at the
No, they
story.
sneak into your room and they
And they
shove things up your butt.
yeah, because right, as soon as you talk gut biomes, we all think of poo transplants. Ugh. And it's a thing, isn't it, that you can get these poo pellets that they take the poo out of someone, they make it into a pellet. This is a form of torture, isn't it? But no, people willingly try and get other people's gut biome bacteria into theirs, right? And this story means that maybe you synchronize with people. You don't have to swallow their poo in some kind of weird human centipede thing. Maybe just live with them for a while. But let's take a look at the research.
Okay.
They found that birds that live near each other get almost synchronized gut biomes. It's a bit of a leap to go from birds that live near other
Yeah.
birds have more synchronized gut biomes to people, because I'll tell you one thing that birds do: poo exactly where they're stood. And when they fly, they just poo. So if you've got a species that just poos where it is, other birds nearby might be getting a little bit of poo
Poo.
transplant.
Right.
If your roommate just absolutely drops a loaf where he stood, yes, then there's more. But I don't think many humans just crap where they're standing. So I'm not sure. I think it's too much of a logical leap. But obviously, I understand if the headline was birds have synchronized gut biomes, no one's putting that in a newspaper. But the fact that they go from the actual fact to the most made up, stretched out, have you shaken hands with someone, then you might have identical gut biomes. No, no, no,
No,
absolute
and
reach.
also when I read the story as well, and it's specifically anaerobic bacteria, which is the bacteria that does not live in an oxygenated environment, which means that it's entirely enclosed. So to transfer that from one human to another is incredibly difficult.
Mhm.
like you said, you can't just pass the remote and go, "Oh, by the way, quick, put your hand on top of mine, or that anaerobic bacteria I'm transferring you is going to oxygenate and die." It's it would yeah, I found it a bit of, and also they're studying birds on an island, so it's perfect for scientific study in a lot of ways, because you have this enclosed, you know I want to say microme, but that's not what I'm looking for. You have an enclosed.
Do you want to overuse ecosystem? That
Sure.
seems like,
You have an
yeah.
enclosed ecosystem, which is great for scientific research, but also, therefore, logically, you go, oh, do all the birds that live on the same island where there's no coming in or out or changing of population have the same gut biome? No shit.
I mean, well, actual shit, yeah.
Is there a prize in science for researching the obvious? Because
There
there's
should be.
researching the stupid, which is the
Yeah.
Ig Nobles, but what's researching the obvious? Maybe I need to start an award just for that, like duh, like the duh awards.
It could definitely be a section on your show, definitely, because it happens so often. You see, some quite often it's not really research; it's people who've just done some meta study, or there's a reason that, like, some company will pay someone to try and prove a thing. That happens an awful lot.
Yeah,
Um,
that's awkward though, isn't it? Because then you can't totally trust it, because you go, well, did you prove it because you were paid to prove it, or did you prove it because it's actually a thing?
it's the opposite of science, isn't it? Trying to get evidence to back up your conclusion is the opposite of science. Trying to find a conclusion because you've observed some evidence. There's your science.
I know, it's like when they say hate is the opposite of love. No, indifference is, and it's the same thing, as that's the technical opposite of science and not religion. Yeah.
Also, we should point out that soft sciences, they're the ones who have a conclusion and try and find evidence to back it up. The number of times you read some sociologist thing
Yeah.
saying, like, "Oh, well, I've observed this, and therefore my theory on it must be right because the thing I've observed is the evidence for it." Nope, no, you need to try and disprove it, but no sociologist
That
tries to disprove themselves.
that sounds like every comment section against every
Yeah.
video I've ever done ever. Yeah, well, I can be trusted to not get a woman pregnant, so why can't everybody else?
Yeah.
That constant, well, when I was a kid, I didn't riot, so why is everybody else? It's going, because you are not a data set.
Yeah.
You are a
Yeah.
datum. No one says
Well,
datum set. No one goes, oh, show me your datum set. They go, show me your data set, which automatically means multiple.
Well, it was only really in the pandemic that people started to use data as the correct plural that it was. When you saw Chris Whitty saying these data. Before
Oh,
that, people would say this data, wouldn't they? But you're right, no one's ever started to bring up the plural. That's what we need to, according to this datum,
these
which actually is what he should have been called on Star Trek. We're back there. He should have been
should have been
datum.
datum. Well,
Commander Datum.
Well, but
Make it so.
he wasn't the first though, was he? He was one of many. you know.
Yeah, but the other one was called law. You're right. They
Well,
both should
that's
have been
true.
called datum.
They should have,
Data.
well, collectively, they should have been datum data.